Hello and welcome to the Sports Centre YouTube channel. So the day came, Trent announced he was leaving, Trent played for Liverpool, Trent got heavily, and I mean heavily booed by some sections of the fans. Now I've kind of spun this story out a lot of these last few weeks, so I didn't really want to dip my toe back into this, but ultimately I can't help it. It's all over the media. It's all over social media, and it's my club. I was in the ground when he got brought on. I think it was like in the 67th minute. So I feel I want to give my opinion on it and properly kind of wrap it up, conclude it, and move on from this now. So Trent puts out the video, says he's leaving. Anna Slot tells us in his press conference earlier in the week that Conor Bradley is likely to start. So I think the general feeling amongst Slot is that Trent's not going to be here next season, so therefore let's get as much minutes in Conor Bradley's legs as possible to see if he can replace Trent next season. I reckon Bradley probably would have started against Tottenham, but ultimately he was carrying a knock, so Trent started that game. So Conor Bradley's in anyway. After Trent releases the video, Trent's on the bench, and I've got to say, it wasn't a bad performance by Conor Bradley, but it wasn't his best. Not to say there was just him. I think there was a few Liverpool players that could have performed better on the day. It wasn't a terrible performance, but ultimately Bradley gets booked. And I think what Arne Slot is thinking when Conor Bradley gets booked is that he don't want to get sent off. Look, he's up against tricky players, Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, tricky wingers, so therefore one mistimed tackle, it's a red card, he's going to get suspended, and then Slot's left in a predicament where does he play Trent or does he put someone along the lines of Curtis Jones, Jarell Kwanzaa, or even Endo to that man as a makeshift right back? Anyway, his mind's made up. He's bringing Trent on, and I've got to be honest, I think that was a mistake. I think Arne Slot has made an absolute clanger there, if I'm honest. I won't knock that guy for anything that he's done for Liverpool Football Club this season, but I do have to say that I think he hasn't read the room properly. Maybe Arne Slot is not on social media. Maybe Arne Slot doesn't listen to the noise around the city. Who knows? But surely someone should have been advising him to say, if Trent plays, there's a good chance he's going to get a bit of a hostile reception. And that's what happened. Now, my take on it is this. Did I boo him? No, I didn't boo him. Do I wish him the best? Nah, I'm kind of 50-50. I'm neither here nor there now. Trent just needs to move on. He needs to leave, if anything. He needs to just leave, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's his last game in a Liverpool shirt, given how hostile the reception was. Now, there was a lot of boos, but ultimately as well, there was some cheers, and as the game went on, this is what I don't agree with. So he came on, the crowd voiced their opinion. They booed his name when it got read out, and they booed him when he came on the pitch. But let me just drop back a little bit. For those who were in the ground, I watched Trent at half time when he was warming up. It was so weird. He kind of like warmed up on his own, right at the far end, away from the Kop, down by the Anfield Road, pretty much on his own. It was just weird. Like, he didn't want to be anywhere near the Kop, I don't think. I think he was, if honest, he's probably a little bit scared of what might come. But ultimately, on the 67th minute, it did come. The time came, Slot brought him on the pitch, and he had a horrific reception, if I'm honest. Now, fair enough, voice your opinion when he comes on the field or when his name's read out. But when he's on that pitch, and he's wearing a red shirt, that's where you draw the line for me. And I think that's where a lot of Liverpool fans draw the line, is this, look, we might not agree with you, we might not agree with what you do off the field, on the field, whatever, but when you're on that pitch, when you're playing for Liverpool, especially at Anfield, we get behind our own. And I think that's where some of the fans, because I've heard, I wasn't sat in the Kop, I was sat in the main stand, but I've heard that there was actually fighting in between our own fans going off inside the Kop, and police had to basically escort some fans out of the stadium. And I always remember once when I was younger, I can't remember who we played against, but we Lucas Lever were playing for us. Now, he was a bit of a cult hero, Lucas. Like, he wasn't a superstar. He didn't have amazing skills as a Brazilian and all this kind of stuff. He was just a decent player. But we grew to love him, and some of the it was a bit like Marmite. Some fans liked him, some fans didn't. And I always remember being sat behind a guy, and he booed him. And someone once said, I don't care what you fucking do, you never boo a Red. And obviously, me not being from Liverpool, like, that was that's when I learned to understand that, regardless of what you do, we get behind our own, and I've had that instilled in me from that guy from young, so I know that. So people that are in the city know full well that they get behind their own in that city, and when people were booing when he was on the ball, that's when, the cheers kind of started getting a little bit louder. The applause got a little bit louder because they was trying to drown out basically booing him when he got on the ball. Now, I think personally that will be the last game that Trent plays for Liverpool. I think if Conor Bradley can't play for us, we play a makeshift right back there, whether it's Kwanzaa, Jones, potentially Endo, who knows. But I just think what Liverpool need to do now is Liverpool hierarchy and Arne Slot need to get together and then need to have a think about how they manage this situation to basically almost get Trent out the back door. Just, it's going to be weird because he's going to want to lift that trophy, and I'm sure he will, and he deserves to do it. But he potentially is going to get another hostile reception when he's on the parade. He deserves that, and I just think, he's not helped himself in all this, and I'm not going to go back into that. He's not helped himself. The timing of the video and all that is, he's not helped the Trent Alexander-Arnold party one little bit, but ultimately Liverpool now have to manage this situation correctly because it could get worse. It literally could get worse, and it could take the shine off what is an unbelievable season for Liverpool Football Club. We've won the Premier League at a canter. We've been the best team in the league, and therefore we need to celebrate this, because the last time we won the Premier League, we couldn't celebrate it. So this is going to be even more special, more bigger. There's going to be more pyros, more fans out on the parade. It's going to be big, and we don't need anything to spoil this, especially not a player leaving. He's made his mind up. The club know he's going. We know he's going. Ta-ra, Trent. All the best, mate. Liverpool move on. Onwards and upwards. So, yeah, let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. What should Liverpool do to manage this situation with Trent? And do you think he's going to play for Liverpool again? Let us know in the comments. Yes or no. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now. Catch you in a bit.